Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel. Today the topic, pretty straightforward. There's a trophy to win. There's a trophy to win. And we need to talk about how Manchester United can get that trophy. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to cover this game during the week. I've been ill, still not doing great. But you know, we got a stream. We got a stream. It's the last game of the season. It's FA Cup day. We got a stream. So first of all, thank you to everyone for the kind words during the week, the well wishes. But now it's on to the serious business, because Erik Ten Hag has just dropped this starting 11. Now, Ten Hag conversation, we're not having it today. We're not having it today. We're talking about this 11, how this 11 can beat Manchester City. And I'll be honest, I am always ill. This isn't even illness. This is like a migraine turned into a flu. It's been a long week. Biggest break we've ever had on the channel, I do believe. 7 days without uploading. I'm a fraud. Anyway, this lineup, which has been released by Manchester United, by Erik Ten Hag, it's exactly what I would have picked if I'd have known that these guys were fit. Which has me optimistic. I have done my work kind of like last week, the week before, looking at Manchester City and where I felt their weaknesses were. This is the 11 that I would have picked. So I'm excited. I think United got a real chance here. Of course City are going to come into the game as favourites, right? Of course they will. They are better than us on paper. They're a much better side. But I've got a feeling today we do something. I think we do something today, and I think this starting 11 gives us the best opportunity to do that. What are your guys' sort of thoughts and immediate reaction? By the way, hi to everyone joining the stream. Good to see you all. Hope you are all well. Not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I'm feeling well up for it today. Yeah, if I weren't, rough, my energy would be quite high right now because I really like this 11. What I will say, it's a shame for Casemiro to completely miss out, right? Should he leave in the summer? It'll be a shame that he doesn't kind of get that last game send-off sort of vibe. So I feel a little bit sorry for him. But I think it gives us a better chance by him not playing. Sorry, mate. So yeah, FP, good to see you, mate. How are you? It's the best we can manage. Honestly, with everyone fit, if every single player at this club was currently fit, the only change I would make going into this game is Shaw for Wan-Bissaka. If all our players were completely fit, this is the 11 tactically, which I think gives us the best chance. Unless certain players obviously don't perform and things like that. On paper, this is our best chance. Maybe Casemiro for Amrabat for, box defence and things like that, protecting Lisandro Martinez a little bit. But in general, I think we've got a team here. David is in the chat. David, thank you very much. He has gifted a membership to FP. David, that's very kind of you. I hope you're well, my friend. Yeah, greatly appreciated. Guys, you know what to do. Turn the chat green. I was gone to FP. Perfect. Yeah, guys, spam some love hearts in the chat to say thank you to David. What a legend. Thank you very much, mate. I think... Wait, Casemiro is on the bench? Was his name just missed on the post? Is that what's happened here? There seems to be a bit of confusion. Apparently Casemiro might be in the squad. The initial post didn't have him there, but hang on, let me quickly check this. The FA Cup list does have him on the bench, so that seems tactical. Interesting choice from Ten Hag. I think we've kind of been kind of hinting that this might be the approach for a few weeks now, right? We've had this Amrabat midfield with Amrabat, Mainu, McTominay midfield for a few weeks. We've seen Bruno Fernandes in his 10 position, Rasmus Højlund being used as more of an impact player. So I think this has been hinted at. Yeah, so the official FA Cup list says Casemiro's on the bench. The United post says he's not. So I'm not too sure. But this is a good lineup in my opinion. I really like it. I think it is going to target a lot of City's weaknesses, particularly their ability to deal with the transition defence. I think that will help us here. I think this team will help us there. And transitioning into the attack as well. I think we've got the potential to pack the middle of the pitch. Bruno Fernandes will drop in at times. There's a chance we defend in a diamond at times as well. We done it last weekend against Brighton. There's potential for a few different options here. I tell you what is quite nice though, right? Is this pretty much the first, maybe second or third time this season? Ten Hag had a few choices to make. He did have different wingers. He could have played Ahmad. He could have played Anthony. He could have played Højlund up front. He could have gone for maybe Mount in midfield. He could have gone for Casemiro in midfield. Fullback a little bit restricted, yes, but he had a couple of centre-back choices to make. Must have been quite nice for Ten Hag to have a little bit of freedom with actually being able to pick an 11 rather than being forced into a certain 11. That must be quite refreshing for Ten Hag. Just worried about our attacking threat. I think that's where we look strong, in my opinion. If we are set up how I think we'll be set up, I actually think we've got quite a big attacking threat in this game. With City likely to dominate the ball, right? Let's make that very clear. City are going to have a lot of the ball in this game. I would imagine they will dominate for quite large parts. In terms of what they do, apologies, when they do dominate the ball, is they've kind of been changing in recent weeks. They have a few different plans. They will nearly always build with a back three, but the personnel in that back three will change. Walker is normally one of the deep ones. Sometimes we'll see a Kanji in the back three, like this. Gvardiol will go forward, Foden comes inside. Sometimes a Kanji will step into midfield, Gvardiol will play deep. I think recently it looks more like this though. And this is where, with Bruno dropping deep, I think you can hurt them. Because City's transition defence is not as good as it's been in the past. In terms of if you want stats, this is kind of on paper, statistically, City's worst defence they've had in a title run. They've conceded more shots than they've faced in any other title run. They've, I think, faced more shots on target, had the fewest clean sheets they've had in a title-winning campaign. They're not as good as what they have been in the past. They are not as good as what they have been in the past. They do have weaknesses. And we covered this last time we faced City. I was talking about some of those weaknesses in the side, and we can cover that again shortly. FP showing that he's been a member for 6 months. FP, what a legend. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. Ten Hag is planning to not have the ball. Seems we will rely on the counter rather than bringing the game to them. I don't know that that's a bad idea, though, to be fair. I think it's probably the right approach. I think if we went toe-to-toe, City are just too good. I think they physically and technically probably pull us apart a little bit and kind of pick us off. I think being compact is the way to go in this game. I would imagine Bruno and Scott aren't going to be miles away from each other. I'd imagine we're going to try and get the wingers inside like this. A bit like what we saw against Arsenal the other week, but the big difference in this game should be having Bruno then creatively leading the charge on the counter-attack, right? That Arsenal game, we were rather toothless. Bruno should give us something. Also, Marcus Rashford, right? I know people don't like him, but there is no denying that in a transitional-based game, he's top 3 or 4, okay, top 5 players in the world in a transition-based game. He is that good on his day. If today can be his day, there is every chance that Rashford is the game breaker here. Every chance of that. DJH, good to see you, mate. I hope you're well. Everyone else joining the stream as well. Good to see you all. Hope everyone is good. How are we feeling? Matt also, by the way, with the 6-month membership. Matt, thank you very much, my friend. Good to see you. As you know what to do, spam some love hearts in the chat. Say thanks to Matt and FP for their support. Manifesting a Rashford hat-trick. I think Rashford scores today. I'm really confident Rashford scores. I think Rashford's the decision maker. I actually wondered if he might come in from the bench and do it. From the start, he's still got that chance as well. It will be difficult. It will absolutely be difficult. Because City are phenomenal, right? There's a reason they've just won the Premier League again. They're a great side. But we do have the sort of players who can do something to them. We're talking about Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. These are transition monsters. They are game breakers in that transitioning situation. It allows us defensively to compact the pitch, but also playing in transition and things like that, we look dangerous. We look dangerous. How many do we win by? I think we win by 1 goal this afternoon. I think we win 2-1. I think Rashford scores 1. I think Bruno Fernandes scores 1. And Foden or Bernardo Silva score 1. That's how I see the game going personally. But I think the approach has to be deep, compact, play in transition. Should we discuss a couple of City weaknesses? City aren't good. Okay, that's a bit harsh. City aren't great at defending the transition when you get runners crossing over each other. So when you get players, rather than running in 2 straight lines like that, running, crisscrossing over each other. That's where City struggle a little bit with the defensive transitions. Now, we know that Garnacho has been really effective at times doing that this season. I would also say, keep an eye out for that weird Dalot run. Said it a few times. That weird Dalot run where out of nowhere he's going to pop up in these areas. Keep an eye out for that in this game. Keep an eye out for it because City, like I said, they don't like those kind of crossover runs. Manu, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? How you doing? But yeah, City don't like that at all. Chad says we win 6-1. I mean, it'd be a good day to avenge it, wouldn't it? It would be a good day. these are the areas you've got to get into. The other issue that City have is when you play these kind of complex structures these days, right? So let's say in the instances where Akanji steps into midfield, and this is what we covered before, earlier in the season. Now, City are rotational, so this will happen at some point in the game. Another time, it'll be someone else. But when you have a rotational structure, it means that when you lose the ball and then have to quickly defend, your players are in weird positions, right? Because Akanji's instinct as a centre-back is to drop deep. Rodri's as a midfielder is to step forward and engage the ball. I think there is a hole in this City side here. And I think this is a hole which is left there in quite a lot of games. Quite a lot of games. Again, I think this... apologies. I think the City side are more vulnerable than what they've been for a couple of years. I don't think they are as good in a transition defence. And I'll tell you, they're worried about us. City are worried about the threat we've got. There's a reason, or there's a tell to that. Look who they've picked. Look who they've picked. They haven't picked their overly expressive players, their Dokus and the likes. They've gone for more retention-based players. The fact that Kovacic is in the side and also Bernardo Silva. Guardiola is very, very wary of the threat which United are going to bring in this game. Very aware of it. Nuruddin saying we win 115-0. I wonder why you've picked that number, my friend. I wonder why. No one talk about losing? We're not losing. We win it all day. Amrabat makes mistakes during build-up. Mainu should be the deepest player. Yeah, we'll come on to that in a sec. But I genuinely think the fast transition is the way to hurt City. I really do. I think if you can pull Diaz out as well. I don't know that Diaz is great. 1 versus 1 defensively. If we can get Bruno dropping in here, kind of taking the attention of Diaz, or not, which is also very possible. City sometimes don't let the centre-back go, which allows you to create that 4 versus 3 in the middle. It sounds obvious, right? Because he's probably our best player. I think this is the day for Bruno Fernandes. I think he could make and break this game. If he has a poor day, I think he'll struggle. I think if he has a good game, I think he'll cook. Is it Stones, not Diaz, as someone just said? Have we got the 11 wrong? I beg we bring Fred from the stands to Mark Foden. It wouldn't be a bad shout, to be fair. Oh, Stone's playing. How have I got the City lineup that wrong, sorry, by the way? How did I not clock that? Did I read the wrong thing? Did I read their predicted lineup? Okay, well, by the way, that's a bigger pointer to the fear that they have against us, by the way. Because from what I can recall, the only other time they've done that, they've taken Diaz out and brought a different centre-back in, was the Arsenal game, where they were absolutely terrified of what Arsenal were going to do. So they felt that they had to do this. So again, that is a pointer to this side being scared of what we have to offer. Good to see John Stones playing though. Bruno had a big role for winning against City under Ollie. He could do great things today. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, he's the one to get into this gap. Because City don't want their centre-backs going in these areas. They don't want them going wandering into midfield and following players because of the gap they leave behind. We know Pep, he wants control, right? He wants control. United's games are all about no control. We're as bad as we are this season, right? We're the exact type of side which Pep doesn't want to play. Because we're just weird, right? We do stupid stuff in stupid moments, but somehow it works. That's the last sort of style that Pep wants to play against. That transitioning approach will terrify him. He will be scared of it. The concern I have is actually more when we have the ball, if you know what I mean. I think defensively, let's say City have got the ball. I think United have all the potential to sit deep, be compact. I think we can do that, and I think we can play on the break from there. My bigger concern in this game actually comes when the responsibility is on us to try and play from the back, to build from Onana, go into midfield, and actually try and sustain possession. That's where I have my bigger concern, because these days City are a kind of a different transitioning beast to what they used to be. So, how would you guys be approaching that? Obviously, I guess the easy answer is to say we don't play from the back, we go long. The problem here is, without a Højlund up front, we don't really have the obvious target. Unless we're going long to wider areas, maybe. What would you guys reckon? I do genuinely think we can score, and with Licher and Varane, maybe we could defend. But I hate getting my hopes up. Hey, it's part of being a football fan, right? Getting your hopes up. Even if it comes crashing down 12 seconds in, we get our hopes up. Part of it. It's part of it. City against teams that try to keep all their players behind the ball seem to always win. I hope we never give up on scoring. I think the key is going to be using our wingers in a... It's going to sound really odd. Using our wingers in a... I can't believe I'm about to say this going into an FA Cup final. But just hear me out here. Using our wingers in a David Moyes-like defensive way. I should be shot for saying that. David Moyes a couple of seasons ago was really good at doing this with his wingers. What he would do is he would get his central players quite deep and compact. And his wingers are almost in cheap positions. They're in positions where it looks like they're doing defensive work, right? They're in here. Yeah, he's got behind the ball. He's doing his defensive work. Garnacho's here. Yeah, he's there doing his defensive work. But they're cheating. They're not actually really properly trying to defend. They're just kind of making up the numbers, if you like. The aim always is when we when we win the ball back, where can we go? Jared Bowen done this brilliantly for a couple of seasons at West Ham when he was used more as a right winger, like week in, week out. He was used in this kind of cheating defensive position as a winger. So yes, he's getting behind the ball. Yes, he is helping his side out. But realistically, what's on his mind the whole time is, can we win this ball and go? And go. I'm gonna help defensively. But realistically, I'm here for when we win it back. Can I get into this area? And Garnacho is good at that. Marcus Rashford is good at that. So at times you might think our wingers are being a little bit lazy. I think it will be part of the plan. Like, you will see teams do this on purpose. Liverpool do it with Salah as well. He'll come back and he'll tuck, but he's not really there for intensive defensive work. He is there for when we win it, we go. We go. They're there defensively to make up the numbers, but they're not going to put the tackles in. You're almost asking them to save their energy for what they can do going the other way. I think that's the plan for United. Rashford and Garnacho seem the perfect fit for these type of cheap wingers. Yeah, genuinely they are, because they're both very good ball carriers. They will get into these positions. They will tuck into these areas. Garnacho in particular, we know, does it quite a lot. And Rashford's done it in the past as well in certain games. I genuinely think that we're quite well equipped for this. I think we are well set up. City are vulnerable in the transition massively. Massively. Please don't go deep. We're not a second ball team and City's ball play will drag us out of position. My concern, probably more than anything, and I guess this doesn't come as a surprise, is De Bruyne and Foden. Right? Wow, what genius I am, pointing at City's two best players and saying that's what I'm concerned. I am concerned about those two because they don't want to play in here. They want to play in these half spaces. And if we are in this sort of 4-2-2, I worry when Kovacic is given the license to come forwards, if we get outnumbered in a little kind of block here. This is what I'm worried about. This becoming a kind of a 3 versus 2 in City's favour. This is where I'm worried because previously we would have had a Fred to go and deal with this job, to go and close him down and just kick him off the pitch. I don't know that we've got that in the squad at the moment. And then you've got Foden from the other side as well, which might be more of a threat because Haaland likes to peel back post no matter where the ball is. Haaland onto Lisandro Martinez from this side is something which concerns me a little bit, particularly with not having Casemiro to drop him. Concern him. Yeah, the City lineup's ridiculous, by the way. It's ridiculous. I think this is their best lineup. I'm not a massive Ruben Dias fan. I think he's as good, as I think he is. I think he's got weaknesses in these games. The good thing is, right, we've got a Varane. We've got a Rafael Varane, and we are going into the game with a better keeper than what we had this time last year. Sorry, I love De Gea. He was great for a long time, but he weren't at it right last year in the final. We are going into it with a better keeper in this game. Ake is better than Diaz. I think he's more suited to these big games, yeah. Ooh, it's a good point on Stones as well, by the way. Does Stones change their tactical approach? Also, Chad saying wise words from AJ. I have no idea what I said. He's probably taking the piss. Does Stones change the way that City play? Because in recent times, he hasn't kind of been in this back three. He's been in here. Does that change what they do? Does Ake come across into the middle? Well, that seems unlikely. Is this what City go for? If so, if they do, we've got that same situation which I was speaking about earlier in the season, where again, when we win the ball back, Stones wants to drop, Rodri wants to go towards, you open up the space in here. It's always there. It's a similar space to what I spoke about against Newcastle, and Bruno Fernandes exploited it really well. It's why you go for Bruno and McTominay up front. When you don't give a centre-back a specific man to mark, it can be difficult. Oh, chat, yeah, of course, man. You know me, I'm a wise guy. Diaz is a slightly better Maguire. Yeah, they're very similar players. I think Maguire would be rated very differently if he played for the City side. I'm quite hopeful. I think we'll only lose by a 5-goal margin. Well, it's good to be positive, mate. I respect that. In possession, Stones will be a number 6. See, Ake is not a natural centralised defender. He prefers to defend out wide. So again, that's something which you can look at. I think Kyle Walker is prone to mistakes and lapses of concentration. That's something else you can look at. McTominay runs into this gap. Is Martinez against Haaland your biggest concern with our lineup? Yeah, I would say we've got two main problems. Haaland on Lissandro. De Bruyne kind of between Amrabat and Rashford. That's where I'm worried. That's where I'm worried, I would say, the most. I predicted a 4-2-2 on the stream for the last game week. Just saying. Well, you've got it bang on, mate. More likely win by at least 5. Should be a comfortable win. I reckon so. The centre-backs loved Man, Mark and Højlund. Yeah, this gives them a different challenge. And again, it's where you can hurt City. If you, again, I've said it a couple of times, cross over your forwards on transition is so important. Rashford and McTominay in particular gives you the licence to do that. Because what City aren't great at dealing with... Let's move the ball to the right-hand side for this. What they're not great at dealing with is dealing with a man being passed on. So if we're Rashford and let's say McTominay here, if we both run in straight lines, right, it's pretty clear who's picking up who. Walker is there on Rashford, and Ake is there on Scott McTominay. So it's quite easy what's going to happen here. The difficult thing which City struggle with is, first of all, if you pin them and pull them back, so you make the running behind, the space that then leaves in front, they really struggle with that. Again, we've got one of the best in the world to exploit it, which is quite exciting. So look out for that. Also look out for situations where McTominay gets a chance to carry. Now, I think the fear with McTominay is, what's that final pass going to be? Not so sure, but he's definitely got the carrying ability and the ability to kind of like stride through the midfield. He can do that. But it's when they cross over, City are so bad at dealing with it. Particularly if they don't do it too quick. If the opposition forwards kind of slowly cross over against a City defence in transition, they struggle with it more than what most teams do. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the personnel they've got or they're not used to doing that high volume of defending, but they struggle with it. If you slowly kind of drift as your Bruno and you make the run left, they get to this point where they don't pass the man on that well. United kind of have the same problem at times as well. But obviously the issue with that is, particularly if you're ball side as Bruno here, you open up that angle for Rashford to now come in front. So again, typically what a team should do here is Ake should hold position and kind of maybe pass Bruno on. But City don't do it that well. They don't pass their man that well in defensive transition. And again, if Bruno's the right side of this, there's been instances of this season. If you get in front of Ake, if you are, let's say the ball's coming from here, if you get in front and pin, there's a lot of potential against this City side to kind of make that blind side out to in run. And you're coming from the blind side because Ake's obviously looking... Let me rotate this. Ake's obviously looking this way. So Rashford's coming from his blind side across the team here. This is where City struggle. Again, I would say this is probably, at the moment, their biggest area of weakness defensively. And again, we almost have the perfect players to benefit from this. The other thing I would say, and someone I think has got a huge part to play, Rasmus Højlund. As a sub, we've seen that impact in the last 2 games, bringing something a little bit different. If you give him half an hour and go, right, it's last game of the season, mate, 30 minutes, just run your heart out. Just go, like, full steam, give us half an hour of absolutely everything. Højlund can cause a lot of trouble to that defence, particularly with this lineup. Ake and Stones aren't quite as physically robust as, say if Ruben Diaz plays, physically he can go a bit more kind of shoulder to shoulder with Højlund. Ake and Stones don't want that so much. Edwin, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? How you feeling going into this? Glad you're well again. I'm getting there. We're back to content at least, right? Who would you bring him on for? That's a really good question. That probably depends on kind of the state of the game at the time, right? The state of the game. So, I mean, naturally for Rashford would make sense due to fitness trouble recently. I do like the idea of, though, if at some point in this game we could end up with Rashford and Højlund split, I think City would really struggle with that. I think they would really, really struggle with that. Okay, so Beef Testosterone has become a member for the 3rd month in a row. Thank you very much for the support. I just got confused by the message because he said, I've already mailed my toenails to Pep. Let's do this. Well, I respect it. Thank you very much for the support on the channel, as always, my friend. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Guys, make sure to spam some love hearts as well, so thanks. We promoted the 2nd Waffle Analyst Club to Division 2 in preparation for this match. We're in sync then. That's both teams in Div 2. Love it. I've said a few times before, I'd love to see a Rashford and Højlund front two. Again, I think this is a game where it works. I wish I had the brain capacity right now to go into this in a bit more depth. I really think there's a way that this attack can hurt that back line. I really do. My fear is, like I've said, when the ball's here, De Bruyne, kind of half space, Phil Foden from the other side as well. And then when we play out from the back, we never really came up with a solution for this. Would you guys try and play through? Would you try and play through that first phase, or would you be going kind of long over it? What would you guys reckon? Because the issue with long over it, particularly with the starting 11, is that kind of lack of physical threat. Do you think Hamad will come on? I think is he more likely to come on if we do need a goal than if we don't? I'd actually know. If Amrabat will be the first phase midfielder, he'll be targeted for sure. Yeah, the only thing which might help Amrabat in a game like this, good to see you by the way, Mike, is having Licha there. Licha does have a much better understanding of how to create that next angle for the next pass. I think Amrabat's, if we are to play through, I think Amrabat's role should always be not trying to turn, but receiving the first and then playing the bounce pass backwards. Particularly when you split your centre-backs wide and then go with a narrow midfield, which, again, I think is something we could do in this game. Go for this wide centre-back, narrow midfield, full-backs pushed sort of vibe. Again, I think this could really hurt City. If you do it right. The question here is, do you trust our players? Amrabat, I like it. I guess in terms of do you trust our players, this isn't far off the 11 you would choose for it, right? I guess Varane isn't ideal at right centre-back for it. But in general, this is a decent team to try and do it. Now, the reason you push the fullbacks on is to essentially impact City's way to change the angles of the press and kind of force you a certain way. If you take your fullbacks all the way up, City have to match that with their wingers. The wingers have to drop off. And that's when you create this mini game in here. Said it a few times recently, almost like creating a rondo drill within the pitch. That's what you can do here. Now, I'm not sure how aggressive City are going to be on their press. I don't think they will go all the way man-to-man. I think they're more likely to be 4-4-2. Like this, but I don't know that they want it man-to-man as we've got on the screen here. They might do. But I don't think Pep wants to sacrifice that control. I think he'll want to play it a little bit safer. So I don't think he'll go... I think he'll be 4-4-2, but not as aggressive as this. I wonder if City actually play it more like this. And drop off a little bit. Now, if that's to be the case, the strategy is for Onana to take his time on the ball. Wait for these guys to sort of eventually come in. They probably close the angle from a curved run, as you'd expect. Then those sorts of bounce passes. Amra bounce, as we said. Cobby bounce as well. Round the corner. Licha step him. This is where you can then go. And if you play quickly, you're 3v2 down this left-hand side, right? We can move this up here. If you do it quickly, you're 3v2. And again, I think that will be the aim for Ten Hag. You can see me just struggling with this at the moment. There we go. If you do it quickly, I think that will be the case for United. I think if we play out from the back, even if we're successful, I wouldn't expect us to have a lot of possession. I don't think our aim in this game is, can we go have 60% of the ball? I think the aim is, yeah, can we play out from the back at times? But when we do it, we're still going to go quick. It's still going to be quite vertical, quite direct. Direct without being long ball. Yeah, there's a difference. Vertical, quick, direct football on the floor. Pep knows he's losing to our Baldy. Honestly, I think he does. I think he does. The baldy being Amrabat? Who knows? Amrabat might be the man to win this game. We'll see. Because this is also a very similar structure to what we've seen in recent weeks, right? We've seen less of the inverted fullback. It's happened at times in spells. But in general, this 2-4 shape, becoming eventually a 2-3, has been the sort of football we've tried to play against Brighton as well. Unfortunately, I didn't cover that game. I honestly think the plan for United is pretty obvious. I think it's fairly clear what the plan is. Amrabat bicycle kick at 99. If you could pick someone to score the winner in this game, who would you go for? I feel like Nuruddin, you'd go for Amrabat, wouldn't you? You're Moroccan lion. I respect that. Stones will play as a central centre-back in possession as he is comfortable moving into midfield to track Bruno McTominay. Yeah, that's also a fair shout. Yeah. But again, if City take that risk, you open up these spaces all day. And I'm not sure they want to leave that risk. People saying they want Garnacho, Mainu, Bruno or Varane. Me personally, I'd go Rashford, only because I don't like how United fans have turned on him. Criticise him, fair enough. Disrespect, no. So I'd like it for him. And then, yeah, if it's not him, Bruno. And if not them, then one of the young guys. What happened to Casemiro? Honestly, no idea. I don't know if he's on the bench or not. There's been a bit of confusion around that situation. Not really sure. Rashford brace, I will be there. Should we get on to score predictions? Because I'm not going to stream too much longer because I'm struggling. I'm struggling a little bit. So should we go to score predictions? Any answer to Foden and Gvardiol? Garnacho, you're going to have to be on it. I think he hasn't been on it recently. I think his defensive work has been really poor. He's got away with it a little bit because his name isn't Marcus Rashford. His defensive work has to step up. Has to. He's got to step up with that defensive work. Because like you said, there will be spells where Foden drifts in, Gvardiol goes round. We're going to have to be switched on to that. I feel like what we really struggle with as a club all season long is a winger inside, a fullback round. Our fullback will follow the winger, but then our winger doesn't follow their fullback. Or they kind of half do it. And we get picked apart with these spaces a lot. So we need to be better there. 3-1 with a goal from Bruno, a brace from Rashford, and a goal from Foden. 7-2, easy win. Lovely. 2-1 with goals from Rashford and Bruno. That's my vibe. That is my vibe. I'm losing my voice. Do we have any other predictions, guys? Get your predictions in the chat. How do you think this game is going to go? Give me a little score prediction. I'm scared Foden is going to be on violence. He just always is against us, isn't he? He's a little nerd against us, I swear. I imagine Manchester City will get a soft penalty that nobody thinks is a penalty. They will score. We will lose our heads and lose for now. That's the other thing I would say, actually. We can talk about tactical weakness and all that. The thing for me is keep this game tight as long as possible. 60th minute, we can't be out of the game. If we're in it on the 60th, for the first time this season, it feels we've got options from the bench. If we're in it on the 60th and City start pushing a little bit more, the Rasmus from the bench is a lethal weapon. Ahmad from the bench is a weapon. Mason Mount can give you a little bit of energy. And we can completely change tactic as well, Hoyland up front. Stay in the game. Stay in the game. Might become a snooze fest at times, but if we have to do it to win the cup, then you do it, right? David with a donation. Thank you very much, David. Greatly appreciated. Saying 3-2. Goals from Rashford, Bruno and Hoyland. Our Baldy will win. That's what I want from today. Our Baldy to come out on top. Thanks for the stream, AJ. Even though you ain't feeling your best, I am on the ropes right now, I'll be honest. I'm struggling to look at, read. You can see I'm, really focusing. Look how tired my eyes look, by the way. Look at the bags. Try not to celebrate too much later. My celebration is going to be a brief celebration and then crack on getting a video sorted for this game. That's my plan. Do you approach like Real Madrid and just counter-attack, or do you approach it like Chelsea did and create loads of chances? I'd play it safe. I would be going compact. I would be reducing spaces, playing in transition, a bit like Madrid. Obviously, we don't have the same personnel as Madrid, but that's the sort of vibe I'd be going for. Chat, nice hoodie. Thank you very much, my man. It's a lovely day for it to rain, so I can get the hoodie back on. I'm going to rip through the Discord hangout voice chat. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll get in the Discord chat at any point. I'll see, but guys, make sure to join the Discord. I haven't even plugged that today. There's loads of people here, and I haven't plugged the Discord. Join the Discord, guys. Hopefully one of the mods can quickly put a link in the chat. Join a Discord. It's completely free to join and it's good fun. Like the stream since AJ is fighting migraines to stream for us. Thank you very much, Yusuf. Yeah, guys, leave a like. It might get rid of the headache and then the content can come back. That's win-win, right? Win-win. Yes, David, you tell him. Thank you, FP. Thank you. So, guys, FP has put a message in the chat, and I'll pin it. That's the Discord server. Completely free. Most of you guys might already be in it, but join. Join. Can't wait to see Bruno lift in the FA Cup. Imagine how good that would be. Just that picture of Bruno with the FA Cup. Or Cobby with the FA Cup. The picture, by the way, of Rasmus, Cobby, Garnacho. Ahmad in there as well. FA Cup trophy. Yes. Hi, first time participating over here from Venezuela. Oh, welcome to the stream, my friend. Hope you have enjoyed it. Love your content. Thank you very much. Would like to know your opinion on the theory that Ahmad will sub for Rashford on the 70th, maybe 80th for a goal. I could see Ahmad or Rasmus getting on. I think Rasmus definitely gets on. I don't know if Ahmad does. I'm really unsure on that. I'm unsure on Ahmad in this game. I think Rasmus will. I'm very, very certain. Not sure about Ahmad. Did you read Bruno's piece? It was good. Really good. 135 people watching, but only 46 likes. Unacceptable. Chad, preach, brother. You tell him. Guys, like the stream. Do you want me to suffer with this headache? Is that what you want? Like the stream and you get more content. What do you think about McTominay's influence in this game? Key player. Key player. McTominay, you know what, I'm going to put my career on the line here. McTominay will get at least 2 occasions in this game where he is here. Between midfield, between defence, driving with the ball. He will get into this position twice. Minimum. Please, Scott. Please. Please. I'll close my eyes, it's nice. Please find the pass, mate. Please find the pass. I'm not saying we'll go long to get to this point, by the way. This might be in transition. It might be, you know, quickly won the ball in midfield or something like that. He will get into this position. Find the pass, mate. Find a pass. Foden back post after 3 minutes. Let's not do that, eh? Let's not do that. From McFred to calling McTominay our key player, it's so great. What a run we've had, eh? What a football club. Ahmad is in form. Why is Garnacho in the starting 11? I think Garnacho probably is a kind of a profile as a player, just naturally brings more in transition. As much as I love Ahmad, I think he's been really good recently. Pure ball carrying threat, particularly down the outside. Particularly down the outside. I think Garnacho is the better player at that particular role. I think that particular role, Garnacho might be more useful in this game, that transition, and that kind of makes sense. Guys, just please, McTominay and Bruno in this space. This space here, where City don't know whether to go in or out towards these wingers. Watch this space. Watch this space. Clip it. Clip it. Watch this space in here. This is where United can win the game. Winning the ball in midfield with tackles, strong tackles. Or just transition moments. Here, this is the place. This is the place where we can win the game. These two here, the wingers going high and wide. Watch out for it. Watch out for it. Watch out for it. Mainu man the match. Oh, inject it in my veins. I'm here for it. McTominay will dominate Stones. Yes. We're winning this game. I feel like we win it 2-1. I honestly do. I honestly do. Now, this might blow up in my face, and if so, don't clip anything I just said. I've got a feeling we win, and we might as well have some confidence or belief going into it, right? If we sit here going, we've already lost, what's the point? What's the point in even showing up for it? Don't watch it. Go into it with a bit of belief. It might crush us at the end of the day, but if it does, hey ho, that's life. That's football, right? Get behind the team. Believe in the team. I think we can win. I think we can win. City are not invincible. They have weaknesses. And we've got some really good footballers on our side. We've got Lisandro Martinez. We've got Onana. We've got Rafael Varane. Do you understand how good those players are that I just named? Dalot, one of our players of the season. Kobbie Mainoo, one of the best young players on the planet. Marcus Rashford, one of the best transitioning threats. Garnacho, one of the most exciting young players in the league. Bruno Fernandes, maybe the best creative player on the planet. And McTominay, the best McTominay on the planet. We can hurt them. We can hurt them. We can hurt them. And I think we might. We might. For the stream, though, we're going to wrap up there. We're going to wrap up there. That's what we're getting today. That's what we're getting today. Sorry, I'm about not getting named. Yeah, sorry those I didn't name there. It's a little bit harsh, isn't it? Wan-Bissaka, you're a nice lad as well. Yeah, for the stream though, I'm going to wrap up there. If we win, enjoy it, celebrate. I'll have a video out later. Knee slide across your room, whatever you've got to do. Punch someone, I don't know. If we lose, it's only football, right? We've been through way worse this season. We can firm one more before we get the positive of a good transfer window. So yeah, don't let it affect your mood too much if we lose, right? If we lose, we're going to lose to a good side. If we win, we may be beating the best side on the planet, which means we're the best side on the planet, and just naturally the biggest club in the world. Damn, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We're going to win this game. We are going to win this game. And I'll see you guys later. Hang on. Oh, what on earth is popping up on my screen here? Anyway, yeah, I will catch you guys later. Thank you very much to everyone who has watched, subscribed, liked, gifted, what's it called? Gifted memberships, and also extended your memberships as well, guys. Thank you very much for joining. Again, I do apologise for the lack of content the past few days, my lack of energy this afternoon, but we're going to be back soon. The content will be back flowing, and it's going to start off with a United win. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. United!